Okay, 128 tick. Another fancy spot for another fancy nade. Line it up over top of the corner of this shadow on the floor, about like that there. You can see that. Then I stand up and I aim right here. If you can see this very faint yellow smear coming down the wall, and just aim to the left of that and just above the black line down there. So I aim right here, jump throw. This isn't going to be perfect every single time, like this is perfect now here, but 80% of the time it'll be like this. 20% of the time it'll be like spot here, or maybe even more back here. That's just the best I can do against the RNG, is to do it from there. Now you can do it from this spot here by aiming around here and jump throwing. And that's about a 50% chance of being perfect. That's perfect now, but 50% of the time it won't spread all the way back here like that. Could also throw from over here. I just recently found this. It's credited to Electronic, but I don't remember how he aims it. But this, if I aim it right here, you see this little bean-looking thing here? It kind of looks like a fetus with an AK in his hand, maybe. So right in the fetus's mouth, aim right there, and slide to the wall, and just throw it, maybe right there. And that's the right kind of aim to do this. It forces this guy out of, behind there. Now that I look at it, you can do this. You can do it over here too by a mouse 1 and 2 jump throw, aiming about like this here. Or not about like that, like exactly like that. I don't know how to show it other than doing that, because I use my crosshair to line it up perfectly, but because it's got to land just over top of that wood there so that it pops in a way that will spread down to the floor. Also, playing around with this Electronic molly made me find this thing up here. You see these two little eyes, like eyes in the woods? Boom, boom. Right above the right eye is that little spot. I aim right on that. And I just run forward and I jump throw just before I hit the wall. You can go even later than that to get it even deeper into the spot. I kind of like that there. Can do decent damage to this guy. And he wouldn't be expecting that. Okay, so back over to here. Like I said, I think this is the best way to do this molly. But it's not going to be perfect every time. You gotta have to deal with that. If you want to throw from here. But there's other things you can do in addition to that molly, in combination with that molly. So like from here, if I want to smoke CT, well, I can aim right here, right in the middle of this little T here. That's really easy to see over on the wall. Or if I aim above and left of that to this gray dot, and then just off to the right of it, that will be a smoke for CT that will allow molly up in the boost. And of course I'm going to smoke, and then I'll add a flash too. I'll show some flashes in a bit, but that smoke does allow molly up in the boost. Along with having no gaps. You see what that flash is doing there, flashing everybody on sight. I'll show that better now. The other one is just that other aim. That's nice and quick. But that one will... Oh, and here's a flash. I'll do that one now, yeah. I like this one. This one does not allow molly up in the boost, as you can see. Nice and tidy, though. And so I'll show some of these flashes now. So here's if I'm not the entry player, I got a couple flashes for guys up ahead of me. Aiming just to the right of this dot above the shutters here, just like this. That's like a more team safe version, and a more aggressive version is just aiming above, just at the top, or just above the top of the end of this black line, right about there. So I would start with the more aggressive one first, if I was going to do both of them together, and then the more team-friendly version later. So the more aggressive one is not going to flash our guys on this wall here, even though it comes as close as it possibly can to doing so. But it wouldn't, and it will flash a little bit deeper into CT, and like a little bit further on this line here. But you can see it's safer for our guys. And the second one is even safer. So they can kind of use those to push up and then up again on the second one to get a little closer into the sight with flashes supporting their way. Now if I'm just flashing for myself, I can just crouch and aim right about here, right on the right side of that little slant there. That's about right. Nothing special here, just pops up on the roof in a way. It's not going to flash my guys till at least this point here, and it will flash everything it needs to flash on the site, except for the very far right wall here, but everything else it flashes. And that other flash, aiming right here, just to the right of this, the left of this hinge here, to the right of it, right there, yeah. And just run forward and stop running before you hit the wall and just throw it. And that's nice because that comes around that barrel pretty good. And it's nice for this guy if he gets forced just out from the mollies, he's forced into that flash here, even if he's still trying to play close to this. There's a little spot here behind that other side of the pillar there where it's behind the fountain, but pretty good. Okay, so now the video's done. Now I'm just going to go over how consistent this thing is by just throwing it a bunch of times in a row. There's one. Two. Three. Five for five so far. It'll probably go on a streak of missing a couple in a row because I did do a lot of testing and it seemed to maybe I wasn't lining up properly every time because now I'm going into that perfect spot that I lined up earlier, and now it's what, that 6 for 6 or 7 for 7, something like that. See if I can do it on the fly. Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. That's really not on the fly, but yeah. That's the spot right there. Crouching, standing. And okay, finally it leaves a spot. This is what it looks like when it fails. You know, it leaves some spots here. It's going to be like that occasionally. That's just how the RNG is. That's just what it is. But that's good enough for me.